Hi everybody, it's Janny. Welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome. Are you new here? Also welcome. So this week, or rather last week, I shared a little bit on my grief journey, having lost my father. And this week, I really want to honor his memory and share part of my other creative endeavors with you. And that is my latest children's book, DJ and Lionel Brave. Kind of have to say it like that for the feeling, you know what I'm saying? So I actually came up with this story back in 2016 and the whole concept and everything. However, I wanted it to be executed like I had a vision and I had to have it exactly as I imagined it. And so it took me a while to be able to bring this book to life, but I am so proud of how it turned out and having it here. It actually got published and delivered to me end of the year. However, with my dad's declining health and everything that was going on, that was not a priority for me to promote it. The reason why it's so near and dear to my heart and is the backstory, which is it's actually inspired by my son and his relationship with my father. So DJ is inspired by my son. The lion, Lionel, is representative of my father. Back in the day, my son, when he was about 3, was obsessed with two things: my father, his grandpa, and lions. Get it? In the story, DJ has a special hat that can teleport him to an imaginary place. In this imaginary place, he gets to hang out with his buddy, Lionel the lion. Now, Lionel the lion is some kind of mentor figure, and they share a beautiful friendship. And so DJ expresses to Lionel how courageous he thinks he is and how he's out here doing all the things, and he's so brave, and he admires him and he wishes he could be brave as Lionel. And through friendship and encouragement, Lionel reminds DJ that, you know what, actually being brave isn't about going and doing extraordinary feats and stuff and putting yourself in danger, but you are demonstrating acts of bravery in everyday life. DJ was gifted this hat by his grandfather, who was an explorer who unfortunately passed away. My father used to gift my son hats every time he would travel somewhere. And so I kind of came up with it that way, but my father at the time was very much alive. But I was kind of like my son, if my father ever did pass, he would have all these memorabilias of his grandpa. So that was kind of where I pulled that inspiration from. And so DJ is able to connect with his grandfather in a sense through this hat. My father always had a wise saying, some kind of wisdom to share, always trying to encourage you, whether you wanted to receive it or not. And maybe sometimes it was in a way that you had a hard time receiving it, but always shedded some wisdom, and that was the inspiration behind Lionel. And so for me, when I create kids' books or content as a whole, I always want it to be positive and something encouraging. I'm very much of the growth mindset, very much about the self-esteem and representation. And so for me, knowing that I struggled growing up with like self-esteem, I want to promote messages that encourages and empowers our kids. So why bravery? Bravery and self-confidence are so important to in a child's development and growth. And so it helps them build self-confidence. It helps them assert themselves in the world. And so I wrote the story not necessarily with bravery in mind, but the way it kind of just flowed, that was the theme that came up. And so I thought it's important for kids to recognize that they're already doing brave things, and that will encourage them to do more brave things and really stand up for themselves and empower them. And so as I wrap up this video, I want to encourage you to support diverse literature. Now, we all know that reading is already important. To be very honest, I hated reading as a child. But that could very well be because I felt that I didn't see anybody that looked like me in children's books. I mean, I'm very glad to say that now that's very different. And so I promote reading with my kids. And I even noticed that they don't really like it all that much. But we know reading is important for the essentials of like building language skills, words, learning about new worlds and things, and opening up their imagination. And so being able to, on top of that, see yourself reflected. I'm really glad to say that when I started this book project, I feel like there was a lack in representation, but it's fast evolved, and it's unfortunate to say, but the more they see that there's a need and a desire for that kind of content, the more it facilitates it getting produced. So that's about it for me. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for allowing me to share my story with you today. Thank you for supporting diverse literature. And if you are interested in purchasing your very own copy of DJ and Lionel Brave, be sure to check out the link in the description box. I have them available in English and French and also in digital formats. Also, I make sure to I always like putting coloring pages and stuff on my website that are free and available for download for the kiddies. So be sure to check that out, diversekidsbooks.com. And I'm curious, what are some themes and messages that you would like to see in your children's books? Maybe themes that you feel that they don't talk about enough, or that you're kind of like, hey, I never see these kind of themes in children's books. Share them in the comments below. Let's have a conversation. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.